Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tune on in, tap in with your boy before I start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, everybody is having a powerful Friday, man. Heading into the weekend on a positive and powerful note. So, what's the word, man? How everybody living? How everybody feeling? Talk to me before I start talking to y'all, man. Feeling a little inspirational today. So, that's going to be the vibe for today. Straight motivation, straight inspiration. TZ, what's happening with you, my mans? What's the word, my brother? How we living out here? How we holding up? How we maintaining? Magic Realms, peace. What's happening with you? What's the word? What's the word? Travian, peace. What's happening? How we living? How we feeling? What's the science to me, man? Talk to me. Rashawn, peace. What's happening? What's happening? Akuma, peace. What's going on? You say you balanced now. Calm and balanced. Hey, that's a vibe right there, man. That's how we should be feeling on a consistent basis. Calm and balanced. Peaceful, centered. All that good stuff, man. Just powerful. Positive, productive, efficient. All that good stuff. Miss Donnie, peace. What's happening? Say you feeling good. There we go. There we go. Positive vibes only. Powerful vibes only. Y'all know how I go. Y'all know how I go around here. Lindell, peace. What's happening? Magic Realms, get that workout in, my brother. Get it in. Get it in. Today was one of my rest days, so I ain't really too much get it in today as far as the working out goes, but we all good, though. We all good, though. Got it in yesterday. Still feeling the effects from that hard workout yesterday, so we good. TZ for sure. Got to get that vitamin D, though. Got to get that vitamin D. A lot of people run from that sun. We got to run to that sun, though, to activate that melanin, get that vitamin D cracking. Justin, Solo T40, peace. What's happening? We talking about training the mind today, man. That untrained mind and how that's pretty much your biggest enemy at this point, man. A lot of people lack discipline because they haven't trained the mind to do what it is that they need the mind to do. Master 2, peace. What's happening? There you go. Good bounce in the step. Hey, we gotta keep it that way. Keep it youthful around here. That vitality, man. That high energy. We gotta keep it like that. Stay healthy out here, man. That's what we gotta do. It's an attack on the healthy. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta stay on it. We gotta stay on our square. But man, I've been having a lot of discussions with people lately in regards to just discipline. A lot of people always ask me how I'm able to maintain the life that I live, you know what I'm saying, in regards to certain choices I've made, mainly the way that I eat. Mainly the way that I eat, man. So a lot of people inquire about how do I remain disciplined? Basically saying the world around you is chaotic. The world around you is toxic. The world around you eats a certain type of way. How do you stay on your square? How do you maintain that discipline to not deviate from that lifestyle or that way of life? I mean, it's very simple, man. I trained the mind early. Train the mind early. Solo T40, you say, what's a good way to manage time, man? They tell people to work in blocks. You know, so I'm going to give you an example. One of the ways that I inserted time management into my life is with reading. And I came across the method. I forgot what the exact name of the method is. But let's say you got to work on something, man. You work in, say, I like to do 30-minute blocks. So you work hard for 30 minutes and then you take, so every 30 minutes you will take like a 10, 15-minute break from whatever it is that you're doing. So that's a good way to like manage your time. That's a good way to be efficient in a short amount of time. So, you know what I'm saying? Working in those blocks, man. So give yourself a 30-minute block. So for 30 minutes, no distractions. So if you reading or if you got to type something, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you working on, give yourself 30 minutes and all your attention for that entire 30 minutes is focusing on the project or the task at hand. Then when the 30 minutes is up, then you could do things like check your phone, get up, stretch, all that type of good stuff. That's a good way to manage your time. So that's a good practice, man, that I've inserted for time management, man. So just do everything in blocks of time. 30 minutes is a good time, 25 minutes, whatever works for you. If you got to work in 15-minute blocks, then do that. But a lot of times, man, we be trying to go too hard for too long. You got to give yourself a break, man. So you ain't Don't try to work for 3-4 hours straight. No, give yourself that 30 minutes, 30-minute block. All right, 30 minutes. Boom, I'm going to get up. I'm going to I'm going to do something else, take my mind off of the task. You know what I'm saying? Just distract myself a little bit. And that's when you come up with some of your best ideas too, when you're on that break. You know what I'm saying? So just try to work in blocks, man. That's the best thing. That's the best time management tactic that I got for you. Something that helps me. You know, that's something that helps me for sure. Master Tube, how was that experience? DJ Elmo, peace, what's happening? Bonafide. Yeah, journaling is always big. Rika, Chanel, peace, what's happening? Nick, peace, what's happening? Beatrice, appreciate that donation. You say it's constant battle, harder to train your mind as an adult. And that's the key, because it is. It's very hard. That's why, especially when it comes to dealing with the babies out here, man, you have got to instill this in them from the jump, to train that mind, to be disciplined, train that mind to be powerful, to be great, because it is a lot more complicated to do as you become an adult, because you just got to deal with life, man. It's a lot of things that's going to be hitting you, and you trying to train your mind in the process of that. So it's a lot more complicated to do these things or train the mind as an adult. It's not impossible. It's just a lot more complicated, man. So you got to get on that early. You got to get on that early, man. But it is important. It is important. Like when you come across information, and I would say this is another piece of advice. When you come across something that you know you need to do, and you know when you need to do something, because we get what? The gut feeling. That's the second brain. You know what I'm saying? You got to listen to that gut, man. Y'all know how it go. That gut be right 99% of the time. So when you get that gut feeling, that means you need to be doing what it is that you came across. So the moment you get that gut feeling, after you come across something, then it's time to implement it. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Just do it the moment you get the gut feeling to do it, man. That is important. That's another way that I've trained my mind to be more disciplined. It's like, man, I got the gut feeling, I need to do it. Therefore, I'm doing it. I'm not asking any questions. It's going down. Because what happens is we talk ourselves out of doing things, man. The moment you start contemplating, it's a wrap. The moment you start contemplating, it is a wrap. It is a big time wrap. The moment you start contemplating, the moment you start wrestling with a decision, it's over. You're not going to do it. You're going to talk yourself right out of doing it. Happens every time. So when you come across something and your gut is like, man, this is what we need to do. When you come across a way to eat, and in your gut, it's like, man, I know if I eat this way, this is going to save my life. Do it. It's not going to be perfect. See, we be trying to wait for the perfect time. There's no such thing. The perfect time is now. How can the perfect time be a time where you're not promised? So how could the perfect time be next week when you're not even promised next week? That's not the perfect time. The perfect time is right when you come across that information. That's always the perfect time to implement something. Perfect time can't be next year. You don't know if you're going to be around next year. So how is that the perfect time? The perfect time is now. Soon as you come across that piece of information, that's the perfect time. So that's the best. That's another way to just train the mind. When you come across something that needs to be done, do it. Do it. You will figure out everything along the road, man. Along the way, you will figure out everything. Of course, it's not going to be perfect. Like I said, if you come across a way that you need to eat, listen, just start doing it. Just start doing it. You will figure everything will unravel for you. Just follow it. Just do it. As soon as you come across it, do not think about it. Yeah, Rika, that's the name of it. Yeah, I came across that joint. I forgot what book I was reading. I came across it, started implementing that early. And then another thing too that helped me with time management was just waking up like an hour earlier than I had to get things done. Like that first hour of the day. Like they say, you master the morning, you master your day. So that was another thing that helped me with time too, just waking up an extra hour earlier than I had to, and then no distractions. A lot of times too, man, first thing that we do when we wake up, man, we go to like our phones, man, we checking social media, we checking our emails, things like that, man. A lot of these books, they tell you don't do that. That first hour of the day should be dedicated to you and your mental and your physical. But a lot of times we're not doing that. As soon as we wake up, man, we jump into these devices, man. We going right into the toxicity, right into the gossip, right into all of that, man. You got to give yourself that first hour. That's crucial too. That's another way to train yourself, man. If you learn how to master that morning, man, again, that's training that mind. That's instilling that discipline. You got to master that morning. You got to dedicate that first hour, that first 30 minutes, however long you have in that morning. You got to dedicate it to that mental. That's literally what you got to dedicate it to, man. That is very important, man. That helped me. That helped me tremendously. Helped me tremendously. Do your affirmations, meditate, whatever it is, man. First 20 minutes, first 30 minutes, first 10, 15, whatever you got. Breathing exercises, all of that. Do all of that, man. Do some light exercise, man. Get the blood flowing. All that good stuff. Bonafide for sure. Yeah, overworking is never a good thing, man. A lot of times that's what we tend to do. So, man, like I said, working in blocks is beautiful. Working in blocks is beautiful, man. It eliminates the anxiety. You know what I'm saying? You be trying to rush and get something done. You sitting there, you stressed out. You've been sitting there for 4 hours. Like, nah. When you give yourself that 30 minutes, man, you go hard for 30 minutes. Then you give yourself 15, 20-minute break, 30-minute break, however you want to do it. Feels a lot better. Feels a lot better. Terenzo, peace, my brother. What's going on? For sure. Definitely a way of life. Hey, Master Tube, I can't imagine. Dizzy, peace. What's going on with you, my brother? Montel, peace, peace. What's happening? Underdrifter, peace. What's going on? Joshua, peace. What's happening? You know how they do it. You know how they do it. Lindell, for sure. For sure. What's that saying, Kofa, man? You gotta, hey, sometimes you gotta look backwards in order to go forwards, man. So sometimes you gotta dig into that past, man, in order to create that better future, man. That's saying Kofa. That's our ancestors knew that. The ancestors knew that. The ancestors knew that was big, man. So you gotta dig up that past, man, in order to go forward. Ja Films, peace. What's happening? Maze, peace. What's going on, man? So that's important. That's important, man. So like I said, man, just programming that mind, man, is important, man. And that's what it all boils down to, just training, programming the mind, man. You have got to literally train the mind, man. If you striving for greatness, if it's something that you need to master, it's all about you training and programming your mind. You're not going to achieve that level of greatness if you don't train your mind to be great, if you don't program the mind to be great. So this is all important, man. So a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, wonder why they're not in certain situations and certain positions, because look at your mind. It's untrained. The untrained mind is going to fall for anything. The untrained mind will just go with the flow. You cannot be going with the flow out here, because for the most part, the flow is negative. The flow is destructive. The flow is chaotic. So you can't just be going with the flow, rolling with the punches. Like, you can't be doing that, man. You can't be doing that. When you evaluate life out here, man, you see the flow of life is not great. You know what I'm saying? People not out here striving for greatness. So when you striving for greatness, man, when you striving to be the best version and healthiest version of yourself, you going against the flow. So you don't want to roll with the flow. You don't want to go with the flow. You going against that grain. You got to train the mind to do that. If you don't train the mind, you going with the flow. You rolling just how everybody else is rolling. So that's why it's important to train that mind, man, because you're going to have to go against that grain, and it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. When the momentum of the world is of a negative nature and you striving to be righteous and positive, every time you step outside, you got to deal with that. You got to deal with that momentum. You got to deal with that negativity that's about to come your way, because it's coming. That's why a lot of times you will hear people say, and you probably have said it and experienced it. A lot of times when you decide to make healthier changes in your life or positive changes in your life, it's like you get hit with a lot of obstacles the moment you decide to make that change. That's for a reason. That's because the momentum of the universe in this day and age is negative. So the moment you decide to be positive, you about to get hit with a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of tests. Don't get hit with it. It ain't no deity that's testing you. That's just the reality of life. Life outside of you, for the most part, the momentum of life outside of you is negative. So it has nothing to do with a deity. It has nothing to do with a deity, man. It's like, listen, life around you is negative. The moment you decide to be positive, you're going against the grain. So you're going to get tested off of the strength of that. Before you decided to say, all right, I'm going to make positive changes, you was rolling with the flow. So you was just like everybody else. So that's why you wasn't acknowledging the tests, the trials and tribulations, because you were part of the problem. You separated yourself from the problem, and now you're getting hit with the tribulations, the tests, and all that good stuff. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening. You going against the flow. You going against the grain. And that's when you get hit with a lot of your challenges, man. The moment you decide, the day you wake up and decide, all right, I'm gonna be great today. you're going to get hit with a lot of challenges, man. A lot of obstacles. A lot of things going to come your way, man. Just a lot of challenges, man. You got to be prepared for that. You got to be prepared for that. That is what comes with the territory, man, when you decide to be great out here. Because not everybody is deciding to be great. Instead, people want to hate on greatness. They want to try to bring you down. They want to try to assassinate greatness. So you got to deal with that. You got to deal with that. You got to understand that that's a part of that reality as well. So a lot of times we want to focus on just the pros. We got to understand the cons that come with being great, that come with striving to be great. The cons that come with being healthy and striving to be healthy. There are cons that come with it as well. Giza, peace, what's happening? Maze for sure. And that's why I say, that's why every day, that's why it's important. That's why it's very important. It's very important that you remain consistent when it comes to training and programming the mind. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. Y'all have heard me link the two together. Consistency and discipline. That's what it's all about. So when it comes to training the mind, it's like exercising and eating right. It's something that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. It's a way of life. So you can't just train the mind and get it to where you want it to be and then stop training it. No. Training the mind is a way of life and something that you have to do every day. Programming the mind is a way of life, something that you have to do every day. Because as you said, when almost everything here is working against you, you have got to consistently program the mind. You have got to consistently train the mind because they are going to be consistently trying to bring you down out here. So you got to neutralize that with consistency, with the positive consistency. So that's why it's important. That's why I tell people, man, you have to do these things every day. You have to do these practices every day, man. You cannot miss a day when it comes to training and programming the mind. You cannot miss a day. Can't miss a day at all. It's important. Missing that one day is all it takes to knock you off your square when it comes to training and programming the mind. You cannot miss one day. It's almost like when you've been working out consistently and you miss a week and it felt like you'd have missed a year. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. When you missed a week of working out and you get back at it and it felt like you'd have been off for a whole year. Body just ain't right. You got to stay consistent with it, man. Got to stay consistent with training that mind. Akuma, man, for sure. The moment you stop learning is the moment that you die. That's what they say. That's the age-old quote. That's the quote. The moment that you stop learning, that's when you die. We ain't trying to die out here. We striving to live. So we're going to always continue to learn. Oh, Joshua. It ain't even, you say, Josh, that's real. Even people close to you will test you. That ain't even. They say that's real. People close to you will test you. Those are the people that's going to test you the most. You know, and we talk about this all the time. The people closest to you test you the most. The most. Outside of yourself, those tend to be your biggest enemies. You know what I'm saying? The biggest enemy, for one, is yourself, man, because you're going to hold yourself back the most because you're going to talk yourself out of a lot of situations, a lot of things that you need to do. So that's how we become our biggest enemies, man, just talking ourselves out of being great, being powerful and things of that nature. But outside of that, a lot of times the biggest enemy is the people that's right next to you. The people that's so-called family, people that's so-called friends, man, that's the biggest enemy that you got to be battling and fighting against. And it's crazy and it's sick, but that's what it tends to be, especially here in the wilderness of North America. That biggest enemy is that family member or that friend. You got to watch them. One part of the 48 laws of power, man, I kind of agree with that, man. You got to watch them friends, man. You got to watch them friends, man. You got to watch them people that's closest to you. Maze for sure, man. But hey, it may be over for everybody else, but it ain't over for us. It ain't over for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to keep the hope alive for ourselves, man. You know, we see that everybody walking around deaf, dumb, and blind. We can't become a part of that. You know, we not a part of that. So we got to continue to live our truth. We got to continue to stand on our square, man. And it's a lot of us out here, man. It's a lot of us out here, man, that stand on that truth. It's a lot of us out here that's not afraid to stand for that truth. So it's a lot of us out here, man. We got to stay committed. We got to stay committed. We can't worry ourselves with everybody else out here, man. And that's what tends to happen. we concern ourselves with what the world is doing as a whole. And when you do that, then you're gonna lose hope. But when you focus on the small percentage of people that's like-minded, what we call alikes, then it's all good, man. So that's where we need to focus or channel a lot of our energy and focus on the people that are alikes. You know what I'm saying? That's thinking just like we thinking. Focus that energy on them, man. It's a lot of us out here, so we can't give up because it's a lot of us that have like minds out here. So it's a nice little community of us, and that's all it takes to really spark and create change. A small group of people. We already got the small group of people, man. So we just gotta keep building and keep spreading the message. Lindell, man, I don't even know what my take was back then on the person seeing themselves 5 years from now. I just know at the end of the day, I don't look too far into the future because it's not really promised. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I may create a long-term goal, but I just embrace the process when it comes to things like that, where I see myself 5, 10, 15 years from now. I may give you like a one-word answer or one sentence, but I'm not focusing too hard on 5 years from now because, again, I'm not in control of that. All I'm in control of is the process, the here and now, the present, and I focus on that and I embrace that. So that's where I spend a lot of my time and energy. I focus on the present, focus on the here and now. So 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, I may jot something down on the calendar, say 5 years from now, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna just boom, focus on the process. Focus on the process, man. If you got a financial goal 5 years from now, write it down. You know what I'm saying? Whatever 5 years from now. So what we at? 2021. So let's say July 23rd, 2026, you got a financial goal to hit $1 million. Like, boom, write it down. Then just leave it alone. Focus on the process. It's a process, a formula to make the million. If you want to get to the million in that 5 years, write it down on that calendar. Now you embrace the process. How you gonna go about generating that wealth? How you gonna go about generating that million? That's what I focus on, man, the process. I don't spend too much time on focusing on the actual like goal. You know what I'm saying? The future goal. I focus on the process to lead me toward that goal, to lead me to accomplishing the goal. That's what I'm on. Orlando, peace, what's happening? Alkaline lifestyle, I'm all for it. I say go for it. Jeff, for sure. Always try to force you to put them boundaries up, man. Always try to force you to do that. But again, we don't live according to their rules and regulations. We don't live according to their standards. We don't live according to their boundaries. We don't do that. CEO, peace, what's happening? What's happening? You know, we don't live according to their rules and regulations, man. That's not what we gonna do, man. We know and understand how powerful we are, man. And again, these are things you have to tell yourself. And I say it all the time, man, that self-talk is important. How you view yourself, how you talk to yourself, how you think about yourself. All of this stuff is important when it comes to training the mind. Got to think about yourself in that positive light. Got to think about yourself in that powerful light. These things are key. These things are key, man. A lot of times when we talk about ourselves, sometimes we do it jokingly, but you got to watch how you joke about yourself too. Because again, we done talked about the subconscious mind, man. It's not able to determine fact from fiction. So while you may think you joking on the surface, the subconscious mind is accepting that as a fact and as a reality. So you got to watch how you even joke about yourself, man, because your subconscious mind gonna pick it up. Sneaky piece, what's happening? What's happening? So only speak life, only speak positively about oneself. Like that's gonna take you a long way, man. That's gonna take you far. You got to speak positively about oneself. Got to do that at all times. It's already enough people out here wishing that, speaking that negativity on your life, man. So why would you add on to it? Why would you add on to it? You got to make that make sense because it literally doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So you can't add on to the negativity, man. It's a lot of people already praying on your downfall, hoping and wishing, praying that you fail. So why would you do that to yourself? The moment you do it to yourself, you get confirmation now. Now it will happen. You know what I'm saying? It will happen. The wish will be fulfilled once you accept it and you start speaking it on yourself. You know what I'm saying? So don't do that. Don't do that. The best way to neutralize all that energy, all that negative energy that's being directed towards you is to think better about yourself. Donna C, peace, queen, what's going on? That's the only way to neutralize it. Like I said, the moment you start speaking bad about yourself, you have given everybody the confirmation, the validation, and all that negative stuff, all those negative things that they was wishing was happening to you or wish happened to you will happen. The moment you start talking bad about yourself, that's when life started getting real in the field for you. Lindell, from a mainstream perspective, man, always from a mainstream perspective, always. But underground, we got some decent messages out here. You just gotta search. You gotta search for them joints. There's still a lot of righteous brother putting out some joints. We just gotta search for them, man. But on the mainstream level, it's always toxic. That's why I don't too much concern myself with, you know what I'm saying, the mainstream, whether it be music, whether it be what people are watching and things of that nature, man. You got to control the media. You got to control what you're listening to. You got to control what you're watching. Got to control what you consume. If you do that, then hip hop is still a beautiful thing. Always was, always will be. But if you allow the mainstream to dictate what it is that you know what I'm saying, consume, then we may have a problem there. Mac, peace, what's happening? What's happening? Orlando for sure. And that again, you know what I'm saying? That's the way of the world. That's the way of the world. It's like what's crazy, like, you know what I'm saying, just to piggyback off of the last stream that I did yesterday, it's crazy now how everybody is concerned about health. You know what I'm saying? We got to call it the V word, but you know, everybody now is concerned about health all of a sudden in regards to getting the V word. But 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying, we was out here pushing, you know, when Dr. Sebi became a little popular and we was out here pushing that type of lifestyle on people, we was talking about fasting and how to eat to live. Like nobody cared about health at that particular point. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny to me. It's funny to me. We should always be concerned about our health. We should always be telling people to do their research. You know what I'm saying? We should always be telling people to study in regards to being healthy and things of that nature. This ain't something that should just start happening today. We should have been doing this, man. If we would have been doing it, we would have been in a better position. We would have been in a much better position. Much better position, man. But we haven't been doing the proper work and the necessary work. And that's on us for the most part, man. That's on us for the most part. That's why, like I said, I tend to just focus on myself and I tend to focus on those around me that will listen. You know what I'm saying? That's why I focus on. Because, man, like I said, people gonna learn. People got to learn the hard way, unfortunately. And that includes some of your loved ones, man. People just got to learn the hard way. And you got to train your mind. You got to train your mind to accept that reality. You got to train your mind to accept the reality that you cannot save those people that you feel like need to be saved or should be saved or need the information that you have. Can't save them, man. If your mom's is suffering from some type of ailment and you feel like you got the information to save her, like, listen, once you give her the jewels, once you give her the information and the resources, like now it's up to her to make a decision. You can't force her to save herself. You just can't do it, man. So you got to accept that reality, man. You can only give people the tools, man. You can't force them to build with the tools, though, man. You just give them the tools and that's it. That's it. You supply them with the tools, man. Whatever they do with the tools is up to them. But you can't beat yourself up over the head, man, because they not listening to you or they not implementing the information that you have given them. Like, that's on them, man. That's on them. You did your duty. You did your job. You tried to inform them. You tried to educate them. So you did what you were supposed to do. You did your good deed. Leave it alone, man. Don't stress yourself out over it. Kuma, for sure, man. Like, hey, for sure. But again, we was onto health for the right reasons. Now these people really ain't into health. Like, they're not really into health in that sense, but they just trying to make it look like the V word is a healthy way. And they trying to be concerned about people's health in that light, which really that's not being concerned about one's health, though. Yeah, we already know the truth in regards to that. Andronicus, peace, what's that? Joshua, for sure, man. And we start a lot of times, man, that's because of the upbringing. Like early in your life, like you are taught to not question some of the most important things that are thrown on you as a child. Some of the things that you are born in, you are taught, encouraged not to question these things. And if you do question these things, you are disciplined. You are disciplined. You are shunned. You are condemned when you do start questioning some of these things. So that's the last thing you want to deal with as a child. Like, man, they shun me every time I ask this question about this. They shun me, they condemn me every time I ask a question about that. So you just start leaving it alone after a while, man. So that, and then as you grow older, like you just keep that with you. You keep that same energy, as they say. So that's why a lot of people just don't question anything. We was born into that type of culture to where questioning things is wrong. You don't do that. You don't do that at all, man. It's a negative. You deserve discipline. You deserve to be disciplined for that. You deserve to be condemned, man. What you question this religion for? Why are you questioning the way that we eat? Why are you questioning these politics, man? You don't do that. You just accept what you were told. So as adults, we got to do better with that, man. We can't just tell kids that, man. You know what I'm saying? Do as I say, not as I do. Nah, no. We got to educate. Do what makes sense after you have been educated. Like that's what we got. That's what we got to tell them. You know what I'm saying? Do what makes sense after you receive the proper education or the proper information. That's how we need to start talking to the youth. Do as I do, not as I say. Nah, give you this information. And not only am I going to give you this information, I'm going to live the information out myself. I'm going to be an example of what it is I want you to be. And then you make a decision based off of that information and based off you observing the way of life that I'm living. Because I'm living in accordance with the way that I want you to live. So that's how we got to do it. Oh, Joshua, man, listen, that pork, man, I'm telling you, man, it's surprising to me, man. Still in 2021, it's surprising to me how many people still eat pork. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I get surprised. I say this every year. I feel like I say this every year and every other week. Like I still like it's mind-boggling to me the amount of people that still consume pork. Mind-boggling. It's crazy to me the amount of people, the amount of black people that still consume pork. Like I don't even understand why pork is consumed. Like it's so much information. Like it should be a consensus around here that pork is bad. Like in 2021, everybody, 99.9% of the population can agree that pork is bad. So I like to this day cannot understand why a large amount of people still consume pork. Hey, Orlando, man, peace to you for that, man, because that stuff is hard getting your parents to be on board, man, with some things that you know that'll be helpful for them, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. You would just think people would be more on board for something that could potentially save their life, man. Like you got people around you that may be diabetic and you living a way of life that's saying, man, they could probably reverse your diabetes. You would think that a person that's diabetic could be all ears for that. A lot of times they not, though. Bradley, man, I'm telling you, I'm seeing it all on my Facebook. The people that are fully V-word, y'all know what the V-word is, but the people that are fully V-word, man, they talking crazy. It's almost like they have it's like the bougie. It's like the middle class talking down on the lower class. That's what it is. It's like we the lower class now. They the middle class. You know what I'm saying? White America then allowed them to get a certain position, and now they looking down on the lower class like they didn't come from that life. That's how it is for the people that have become V-word now. They looking down on us like you heathens, you peons, like you are responsible for the world being destroyed right now. Like that's how they viewing us, man. Hey Jeff, man, I appreciate that donation. Oh yeah, you know, hey Jeff, and what it is, man, I learned a lot through life. You know what I'm saying? Just my experiences through life, man. I feel like I be going through some things, and I feel like I go through these things for a reason. I feel like it's part of my purpose to go through these things, to learn from the things that I go through, then relay the messages. Like, I feel like that's part of my purpose, man. So I'm just fulfilling my duty. That's literally all I'm doing. Fulfilling my duty. That's why I say it's important, man, for everybody to figure out or create or discover their purpose, man. Because when you live out your purpose, man, you cannot be stopped. You literally cannot be stopped. Like when you figure out what your purpose is, you will not be stopped. It's like when that purpose ain't fulfilled, you will not be stopped. You have got to fulfill that purpose, man. When you got something to live for, it's hard to kill you. It's hard to kill you. It's hard to kill a person that's got something to live for, man. That person is hard to die. It's hard for that person to die. It's hard for that person to die, man. So you got to find you something to live for out here, man. You got to find you something to live for. That is important. And once you do, man, it's going to be that much harder to kill you. It's going to be that much harder to kill you, man. I'm not ready to die. I'm ready to live. I'm ready to live, man. I still got things to accomplish, man. So again, that ready to die talk, it ain't for me. I ain't ready to die. I'm not trying to die. I'm trying to live, man. I'm ready to live. So I'm always speaking life. So I got things to accomplish. I got things to do. I got a purpose to fulfill. Got a mission to accomplish. So I can't die. That's how I look at it. So when you adopt that type of mentality, man, you cannot be stopped. Cannot be stopped, man, because you're going to wake up every day and say, man, my mission is not accomplished. My mission is not complete. Can't go out today. Can't die today. Can't die today. I still got something to do. I still got something to do. I still got something to provide to the world. So I can't die today. Andronicus for sure. Big poison, man. Worms in the brain and all that good stuff, man. Pork be tearing you up. Orlando for sure. It's another thing, man. You know what I'm saying? You generating all this wealth. You generating all this cash. You know what I'm saying? Generating all this money. What is all of that, man? If your health is not intact, man, you walking around, you got these kids, you know what I'm saying? You provide for these kids, but you can't play with the kids because you unhealthy. So how fun, like, you know what I'm saying? What's the fun in that? What's the fun in that, man? You accumulating all this wealth, but you can't enjoy it because you always in the hospital. You always sick. What fun is that? So that's why I say, man, your health is wealth and your health should be of top priority, man. If you don't have good health, man, nothing matters. You can't enjoy anything. Andronicus, man, for sure, man. And it's crazy. Not even just diabetic. Like the people, it's crazy. Like the people that's on blood pressure medication, all of that. Like when you analyze things that they eat, it's like, why are you still eating this? Like you on blood pressure medication and you still eating pork, you still eating this fast food. Like you know that that's not making your situation better. Like what's up? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, man, people be, y'all know the quote. A lot of people don't make change or strive for change until they face with like that life or death situation. For the most part, that still ain't enough to change people. Because there's a lot of people faced with that right now. They faced with a chronic disease right now, and they still living the same way that they was living pre-disease, and they haven't changed. So I don't even totally subscribe to that saying, man, because a lot of people are still they faced with those situations. I've seen people on a deathbed still asking for trash food. So that don't change a lot of people, man. That does not change a lot of people. Joshua, man, like, yeah, man. A lot of times when these rappers and entertainers die, man, we don't talk about what happened. We don't talk about why in regards to health, man. That stuff should be discussed most definitely, but it's a sensitive topic, sensitive subject. A lot of times when our family members pass, when they pass of health complications, we don't like to discuss that. We don't like to talk about it. But no, that's a reality. It's something that we need to talk about, man. You had a family member, they died because of cancer, man. We got to discuss that. We got to talk about that. Let's talk about why they died. Let's talk about their habits. You know what I'm saying? What type of habits did they have? You know, what could have led to them developing the cancer? Then when they got the cancer, how was they living? You know what I'm saying? So those are things that need to be discussed, and we don't discuss them. We run from them. CEO, the V we talking about the shot heard around the world. Kuma for sure, man. Respect to take you a long way, for sure. DJ Elmo, no doubt, man. That's why we remain fit around here, man. That's why we prioritize that. You know what I'm saying? We remain fit, we remain healthy. Like that's why we do. That's exactly why we do that. Because when things pop off, man, we gonna be the ones in shape. We gonna be the ones surviving. We gonna be the ones striving. So that's exactly why we do that. That's exactly why we prioritize that health, mentally and physically. As told by Curly D, peace, what's happening? Most definitely, getting help to enjoy your wealth for sure. Lindell, man, most definitely, man. Most definitely, man. I even saw a list. I don't know about y'all, man, but I saw a list that had like the top 10 anti-V words. Like it's straight a list out here, man. Like they create lists. They creating their intel. It's crazy out here, man. But it is what it is. Montel for sure, man. You gotta always bounce back. It's important. As told by Curly D, man, I'm telling y'all, man, people call it disrespectful, but again, we just trying to prevent that from happening to us. You know what I'm saying? So I done had family members die of, you know what I'm saying, diseases. And instead of me sitting around crying about the fact that they gone, I'm like, man, where did they go wrong? That's what I'm trying to analyze. All right, man, you know what I'm saying? She had diabetes and she didn't change the way she was eating. And essentially that led to her demise, led to a stroke, things of that nature. So it's like I'm analyzing that so I can prevent myself from making the same mistakes, committing the same errors. It's not disrespectful. It's me being wise. It's me taking the best part from that situation. So again, when you got a family member that then died of an ailment, and you going around living the same type of life that they live, like you part of the problem. You part of the problem. You are part of the problem, man. Your family member died of complications from a disease and was overweight, things of that nature. And then you watch how they was living and eating, and you doing the same things. You eating the same way. It's part of the problem. It's part of the problem, man. I'm supposed to say, man, such and such was living this type of life, man. They was living very foul, very toxic way of life. I'm not going to do that because I seen how it took them out. Why would I adopt the same habits as said person? Make sense. That makes absolutely no sense. So I'm not going down that path, man. When I watch somebody else go down that path and it essentially took them out, doesn't make any sense to me. But you get considered disrespectful when you acknowledge it, when you bring it to the surface, when you make knowledge born, as we like to say. Then you the evil villain out here. It is what it is. I'm just trying not to go out that same way. Antoinette, Peace Queen, what's happening? Antonio, most dangerous person to be so for sure. For sure. Don't want to be associated with said individual. Definitely don't want to be. Definitely don't want to be, man. But again, man, we just got to start doing the knowledge, man. We got plenty of family members that we can learn a lot from in regards to their deaths and things like that, man. So I always, like I said, I've been trained to take the best part from a situation. So I'm not about to just sit around crying about it. I'm going to sit around and look what happened to them and what can I do to not go down that path, man. So I'm trying to learn from situations, man. That's what I'm trying to do. I feel like that's the best thing to do from any situation that you face with is try to learn from it, man. It's always a lesson to be extracted from your experiences, man. So always extract the lesson. Always take that best part, man. We settle on the best part. We keep the best part preserved for ourselves. That's what we must train ourselves to do. Keep the best part preserved for yourself. The best part is always the lesson. The best part is the understanding. So preserve that part for yourself. Settle on that. Settle on that, man. So when somebody going through something and it takes them out of the game, you have got to study that and examine that and see where they went wrong and make sure you don't make those same mistakes, man. It's unfortunate. It sounds harsh, but you got to do it. Because if you don't, then the cycle will repeat itself. The cycle will continue. And we do not want the cycle to continue. We don't want the cycle to repeat itself. We're trying to break these cycles. We're trying to break these generational curses, as we like to call them. Only way to break them is to learn from these tragic experiences, man. It's the The only way to break these cycles. Learn from them and then implement what we have learned. We can't just stop at learning. You also got to implement what you have learned. That is also important. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we just stop on getting the information, learning. No, you have got to put what you learn into motion. Got to put that knowledge into motion. That's wisdom at that particular point. So you have got to do that. Put it into motion. So that is key. Kun, most definitely. A wise man learns from another's mistakes. Most definitely. Yeah, DJ Elmo, I talk about it all the time. And a lot of those things, a lot of those leading causes of death is based on our lifestyle choices. Literally. Based on our lifestyle choices, man. It's not the cops. You know what I'm saying? The cops ain't the leading cause of our death. It's things that a lot of things that we have control over. It's what's actually killing us. If we just make better decisions. So we essentially killing ourselves. That's the leading cause of death right there. It's us killing ourselves by making bad decisions. You know, that's what it is. That's the leading cause of death right there. That's the leading cause of death right there, man. Us making bad decisions. Those bad decisions are destroying us. Got to make better decisions, man. Got to make healthier decisions. That's the key. Got to make those healthier decisions, man. We don't make the best decisions, man, collectively. So we got to get better with our decision making. Got to get better. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I was short on time today. I got to head on up to the gym, man. I got a few classes, few sessions, man. So I'm going to go ahead and tap out for the night. Let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Friday and enjoy this weekend. I'm going to tap back in with y'all on Monday for sure. So I'm going to give y'all the weekend to enjoy yourselves, man. We going to come hit y'all hard with some knowledge on Monday. Appreciate the donations. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate the vibes. I'm going to catch y'all in 2 days, man. I'm out, y'all. Y'all be easy out here. Peace.